Disneyland and Disneyland Sea. This was what we woke up to at our hotel room, and we packed up to do a rope drop for Disney Sea. To do that, we took the monorail over to Disney Sea. This was just like most of the train stations in Japan, except it was Disney themed, and instead of an actual train, it was using a monorail. When we got to Disneyland Sea, we were able to get in there in about 15 minutes early due to the hotel that we were in, and it was already getting warm. One of the cool things about Japan is the use of parasols and umbrellas to go ahead and stave off the heat. We got some umbrellas the next day. It was already getting hot, and we're standing in line for soaring. One great thing about Disneyland and Disneyland Sea is they did a really good job of going ahead and trying to cool people down. I have to say that soaring was probably one of the best themed rides of the soarings that I've been on. Each of the sections of Disneyland Sea are divided into a different sea theme. There are 7 of them, and we got to most of them during the time that we were there. We sent the kids off for an hour on their own in a foreign country. Yes, it was Disneyland, but we were a little bit nervous about it. While the kids were going on rides and doing whatever it was, Tammy and I just explored and looked at the different scenes. We went to the Little Mermaid's castle. This was interesting, mostly for younger children, but it was air conditioned, so we hung out there for a while. When we came back, the kids were very excited to tell us about all the things that they had found. And they had this huge planetarium area that was part of kind of an Italian castle. You could turn the cranks and align the different planets, which they spent a good amount of time trying to get them all aligned. The theming of Disneyland Sea is spot on. I was actually really impressed by the amount of attention to detail that they gave to the entire park. Tower of Terror seemed to be a little bit more, calmer than the other Tower of Terrors that I've been on. And the kids and I were able to get lunch and do a teacup ride. And we were able to go ahead and do a ride which we were able to get soaked with a little bit. Really popular ride because everybody was trying to stave off heat stroke, basically. This is the Arabian coast. The theming here was beautiful. We didn't spend a whole lot of time here, but it was definitely fun to look at. One of the things that I found was really interesting about Japan was the amount of crowd interaction, from the Nintendo shop to the dance parties that they seem to have, randomly springing up throughout Disneyland Sea and Disneyland Tokyo. Everybody seemed to be really in on them. This was the American Harbor. Tammy and I went back to the park later on to watch their laser light show. They did a series of lasers and LEDs and LCD paneled boats, and they projected onto the Hotel Miracosta. Overall, the half-hour show was really interesting to watch, but seemed to kind of lack a general theme. And then we said goodbye as we walked out and closed out the park at about 9 o'clock. Day 2, Disneyland Tokyo. We woke up to another scorching day, but fortunately Disneyland Tokyo here, even their main street is covered by a shade scaffolding, which was really nice. We went on a different ride, saw some of the different castles, and tried to stay cool. Most of the rides that we went through were very, very similar, if not exact copies of the ones that were in the States. This is the Haunted Mansion with some slight variations, but nothing that you'd notice unless you'd been very familiar with it. One of the unique rides we were able to go on was Belle's Castle for Beauty and the Beast. And this was really well done, especially the line and the entry to it. Throughout the entire line, there was always something to see. Little doorways that you could look into, little props that you could go ahead and investigate. Disneyland Tokyo and Disneyland Sea both seem to be really big on just having different performances and people going ahead and singing and dancing and entertaining the crowds as they went through. They're almost secondary to the rides. Here they are trying to actually cool people down. They had a themed group of people with, I guess, their tanks on their back just spraying people down with water. I think everybody really appreciated it. Star Tours was another one that was pretty much the exact same as what we've seen in the States, although the actual ride seemed to have a kind of different theme to it. And another dance party. This wasn't even a performance, it was just some cast members that had rolled out basically a speaker into the center of the crowd. I think this song is known to most of the people in Disneyland. Baymax was a ride that was literally over 80 minutes to 90 minutes wait the entire day. I don't know what it is. Baymax is pretty popular here. And with that, we said goodbye to Tokyo Disneyland. Tomorrow, we pack up and we head off to home.